All right. And okay, sounds good. Not a problem. That's quite all right. I completely understand when maintenance has to be done. Yep. Hmm. I was getting tired of it after a while, to be honest.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are here joined today by our fellow friend Pacific1414. Please introduce yourself.
Well, for anyone who is not familiar, I am Pacific 4 and 4, but you can all call me Mike. And I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I actually met Spock through the Star Wars guys, and I'm glad to have met him.
Indeed, same here, man. We have been trekking and chatting back and forth about Star Trek. We understand how, Star Trek should be presented nowadays. It should be just like, the Orville. We always talk about that. It should be exactly how the Orville is presented. That's how Star Trek should be. We agree basically on a lot of things. So he is a good friend of mine. I joined on his channel. If you guys are not aware, please join his channel. It's in the description below. We have Trek talks on there, even Cub game talks on there too. So if you guys like the Cubs, feel free to go there. And he has amazing insight on all the games. Oh man, I just realized I was muted on Discord, so I don't know if you heard what I said on stream. But I was
No,
just
I
shouting at
didn't.
your channel. But yeah, definitely guys, go subscribe to Pacific 414. He has amazing videos. I love this guy.
Well, thanks, Spock.
No problem, man. We're here to help support each other. Trek. I love talking about Trek, dude. It's probably my most favorite thing to do with people because everyone has such cool ideas and interesting ways on what should have happened after, a possible season 4 for the original series. It's all really cool.
Yeah, I could talk about Star Trek all day. I could talk about Deep Space Nine all day, Next Gen all day, the original series, Enterprise, Voyager. The only thing I can't talk about all day is the current iteration of Star Trek.
There, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man, because the current iteration of Star Trek is just a joke, if anything. It's just to entertain people who have a bag of popcorn with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, this weekend I was invited to do a stream talking about the 13 movies, and I had a great time rewatching all the original movies. The only movies I skipped were the ones done by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't like those movies. I'm sure a lot of people do, the J.J. Abrams films, and that's fine. A lot of them had really cool moments, but as an overall, trilogy, I'm not very happy with it. I mean, like, who am I not to be happy with it? But it's very disconnected from the
Some would
original.
argue that they still gave us Star Trek, but it wasn't the Star Trek that we know. It wasn't the same spirit of the Star Trek. It was more flash. There was no substance to those movies. I mean, I'll even admit, Star Trek Online, they may have some missions that involve the J.J. Abrams movie and the current iteration of Star Trek, but I look at it this way. if there's an item I think I can use on my ship that'll give me some sort of advantage in a future mission, I'll play that mission. I'll just swallow my pride and go on with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have to say, for Star Trek Online, they've done a really good job of, like, trying. Well, and I guess minus the Age of Discovery and all those other 3 story arcs in this game,
Mhm.
they did for like the TFOs and patrols and some of the dialogue, they actually tried to make Discovery, good and believable. But obviously, it's hard to do that with a show that's made a ship look like it's from the 32nd century. But
Yep.
it's they tried their best to make it have it make sense for the beginning of Michael Burnham, but even so, like, that's why I'm not very a big fan of the Age of Discovery story arc in this game, because it just has Michael Burnham come behind a rock and she just happens to be there with Seven of Nine. I just didn't understand that, but it's interesting how they mix in with the Kelvin timeline. They have like a lot of the costumes in the game. They have the ships in the game as well, and they're even considered some of the more expensive ships in the game. So it's actually kind of interesting that they like to rep those, because I mean, I wasn't a fond. Were you fond of most of those ships in those movies? I
No,
personally wasn't a big fan of them.
because I looked at the redesign of the Enterprise and everything about it threw me off. From the way
Yeah,
the nacelles look, from the way the saucer section looked to the primary
yep.
hull, and
Oh my gosh, my keyboard keeps freaking out.
I mean, I didn't mind so much that some of the saucer section on the J.J. Abrams movie sort of paid homage to the motion picture version of the Enterprise, the refit.
Yeah, yeah, like
But
the deflector dish.
mhm, but the rest of it just didn't work for me. I thought the nacelles were way too big.
Yeah, yeah, they're way too big, dude. And not only that, the whole ship was big.
Hmm.
It was like 10 times bigger than. It was almost the size of, maybe even a bit bigger than the Galaxy class that Picard commands.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
It's crazy.
And then you have a ship like the Vengeance in Into Darkness, and at first I thought that was their take on the Excelsior. But then I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, that ship's bigger than a Galaxy class.
Exactly. Yeah, it's way too big. Like, if you put that, like, there, here, I can even show it people. It's in the game right now. This is the original size of the Enterprise. The OG one. It's about the size of my Bajorn Interceptor right here. Alright, literally about the same size. Let me get closer, so people know I'm not making it up. Come on. 1/4 impulse! Turn. Stop. So yeah, it's a bit bigger, but about around the same size as the Bajorn Interceptor almost. In I guess you could say vertical. Or horizontal, sorry. But yeah, it's really tiny. And then yeah, basically it's the size of his ship, the new Enterprise. This is the new one right here, the Kelvin timeline. I mean, I don't really like it. I mean, it's a cool, what's it called? I guess a cool 26th century ship, but even so, it's just weird. It has really
Yeah,
big overweight nacelles, and I really don't like the interior of it. It's just too modernized. Like, I miss that groovy decor, and I don't care if that was just a 60s thing, because that's not really true. You see it in Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the weird looking Quark's bar and chairs that Cisco sits on, or Kate Mulgrew has to sit on when she's in Voyager. Like they all look like have some groove element to it. I don't think that should have left. It
Nope.
just looks more like a Battlestar Galactica bridge now with a nicer tone to it. Because Battlestar Galactica had like a, not like a dark tone, but it was a lot more of a dimmer bridge. This is like if they turned up all their lights.
I mean, look at it right here, Spock. I mean, my ship right next to their version
Basically
of the
the
Enterprise.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. I guess big is cool for cinematic wise, but it's just, why would you want to make your own stamp on it? Just stick with the original piece. I mean, that's what got people to start watching.
Hmm. I mean, one of the things I was looking forward to when I first heard that they were gonna, have a J.J. Abrams directed Star Trek movie was to actually see the original Enterprise on the big screen. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
If they had taken what they did for In the Mirror Darkly and, just, added a few more touches for the big screen, I think it would look, I would think it would look wonderful.
Yeah, and a lot of people do say, like, argue that the motion picture, they like to say that the motion picture ship, the refit, is the nicer looking one, but I will always say that the TOS one is the best in my opinion. It's just so sleek and simple. All retrospectively the same size, and each different piece is around like an equal size. Nothing too big, nothing too small.
Mm-hmm. Well, to quote Scotty from Relics, "Show me the bridge of the Enterprise, you blubbering piece of." There have been 5 ships by that name. NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
I remember that episode. That was such a good episode.
It's one of
But
my
it was
favorites
also
from
sad.
Season 6 and Next Gen.
Yeah. It was also sad when he went to go drink alone on the bridge.
Yep.
Poor Scotty.
I mean,
All
he
right.
even says it in that episode. He feels like he's in the way on board the
See.
Enterprise D. On the
Yeah.
original Enterprise,
Yeah,
he
like
meant
I
something
think
on
he
that
felt
ship.
it even more after what happened with Kirk. They thought he all died.
Mm-hmm.
He just felt more alone at that point. Yeah, it sucks, especially when you're good at something and you're in his position where he was like the best at it. He couldn't do it anymore because either he was just too well aged. He wasn't that old though, but I think he just didn't have the willpower anymore to do it.
I think what it was the shock to his system that he'd been inside that transporter buffer for 75 years, and when he rematerialized to be in the 24th century and to see that technology itself had advanced so far, he was basically a dinosaur.
Yeah, he probably felt alone. Definitely felt
Because
alone.
there's that one scene where he's in engineering and he says to Geordi, "Don't you see that your dilithium crystals are going to fracture?" And the chamber itself opens where the dilithium crystals are kept, and Geordi closes the chamber and says, "The crystals are recrystallized inside the chamber now."
Yeah, that was because he didn't know that's how it works now. It's completely
Mhm.
advanced how they refine dilithium into warp power.
Yep.
Completely alien to him. Alright, what do we got here? I have actually an event to do so we can get this. So everyone who is not aware, if you play STO, there is a mirror universe event going on in which you can gain this ship right here. What is the name of it? The Mirror Gargarin warship, tier 6? Yeah.
Yep.
And it's pretty I guess it's art, right? I don't know if it's my favorite. Not a big fan of this whole single piece design. You know, I kind of like the neck and then a support on top, but this is okay, I guess. I like the red in the cells. Just wish they wouldn't look like shark fins. Yeah. That's a ship you can get for free if you complete the event, and you also get 2 other items, an ultimate tech upgrade and Terran Empire Agony phaser weapons. So you get to choose out of this pack which weapon you want from the Terran Agony phasers. And yeah, I think it's bound to account on pickup too, so you can claim it on all your other characters.
Yeah, and that's what's real nice about STO now. It used to be where you would have to play the special events with each character in order for them to get the special reward, whatever it might be. But now, since all your characters are bind to the account like they have always been, and they decided, let's just make it easy for folks so they can choose one character to get this special event gift.
Yep, it's pretty cool. Like I'm recently, if everyone's been playing since January, they've been doing a lot of events and with a lot of generous things. Like some of the consoles probably weren't that great and kit modules, but they did give us a lot of ultimate tech upgrades if you guys have saved up on those. Like we're getting another one now, and they also gave you a lot of ships, the Ryzen ship and then this ship, and I believe there was another one I missed out on. Yeah, there was like a frick, I forget the name. It was like looked like a Romulan Klingon ship. It was weird, but nonetheless, if you guys have been playing since January, they've been giving out a lot of cool stuff. Just wish they would cheapen the Mud's place a little bit more, because $600, whew, that's a lot more.
$600.
That's so much more, dude. That their lifetime subscription is $300. How do they? It's crazy. Like, look, 600. I thought it was a typo at first. Me and my. Oh, what's up, Calamity? Spock on. But I didn't even see he was in here. But yeah, me and Calamity were looking at this, and we thought it was a typo, but it turns out nope, $600.
And yet, here's the thing: there are some people who would fork over that $600 just so
Really, I know. It's crazy. Because the Epic token. It's crazy, dude. That's like buying the Domino console right there. And they put it as $600. That's crazy. I don't want to be rude, but those are just, look, these aren't even like real scale model ships we're getting mailed to our house. These are just 3D model ships in the game. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna be doing counterpoint. Let me get my skill set ready for this. I am rocking a Star Wars build. I have decided to make a TIE fighter using the Zat Vash Disruptor dual cannons, and I put on the Kelvin Divergence Vanity to give it that, just single piece of metal sheet look. But yeah, and we got my boy ship here. What is the ship called again?
Firestar.
My bad, I meant the class, but the name is the Firestar, which is
I can tell you the class here in a second.
all good. I found it right here. It is called Firestar Science Command Battle Cruiser Tier 6. That is crazy. My boy is rocking a science ship. Are you doing a science build?
This is my main character, the first character I created, and I've always been a big fan of Spock, so I made my character a science officer.
Nice. And I see you got the veteran vanity too, so that's sick. Alright, let's do these. Pop. Let's do this. You ready to cowbunga?
I'm ready. All ships, red alert, raise shields, arm all weapons.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Hail, Vigi! Thanks for dropping by, bro. It's good hearing from you, man. Glad you're okay. Everything's going crazy in this goddamn world. Yeah. Good to see you, man. I just flew oh my god, I just flew right through these pillars. The collision is so crazy off. Actually, I hope they're watching this, STO devs. There is a massive collision error on this mission. Since you are featuring it. See this? You see this? Look. Look at this. What is this? What is this? These weapons are so cool, but they're so weak. Spark on,
Last
dude!
time that we streamed together, that your ship was able to put up a pretty good fight.
We shall try to make this a good fight as well. For Sparta! Oh wait, no, that's the wrong movie. For Beja! No! Cloak.
Yeah, it was.
That was really fun. I bet I even get now even crazier. Hail, Coffee! What's going on, Coffee? Thanks for popping in here, bro.
Assault team on board.
Glad you could make it.
Laying in a course for Terek Nor.
Lighting route for Terok Nord. Alright, yep, pick up my assault team, and then we're gonna beam them over there. Come on, beam up, beam up, beam up. Beam up! Thank you.
Down assault team.
I appreciate that, Coffee. I'd love to have you in here sometimes, just talk about some Star Trek or Star Wars, man. Greetings, Robert. Hello, Captain. Thank you for joining the stream. So, if anyone didn't catch earlier, this is my TIE Fighter build I'm rocking right now. It's the... Not looking... It looks more like, I guess, like a TIE Bomber. I'm not really sure. It's just... This vanity I put on it reminded me of, like, a Star Wars ship. So I put on the Zat-Bash Disruptor cannons. So that's what you're seeing as my weapons right now. But yeah. 2 more starships. I mean, 2 more assault teams, and then if you want, meet me on top of the Terok North station so we can bombard those bosses who are gonna come out of the portal.
Not a problem. I've got an assault team on the way. Targeting all weapons onto Tark Nor and firing.
I think they're coming out right. Yeah, they're gonna come out right here.
Coming about.
All right, you're gonna blow them up.
We're reading an energy surge. Our reinforcements will put you in your place.
We'll see who puts who in place.
Damn it! These weapons aren't doing much right now. But that was my first death. Now it's pitch
All
black
hands,
time.
abandon ship. Repeat, all hands, abandon
All hands!
ship.
Abandon ship!
Nobody blows up my ship and gets away with it.
You haven't seen the last of me. Terok North, back to the mirror universe.
Alright. What should we do? Let's do the near TFO on ground.
Okay.
Now everyone's gonna see that my character looks like Emperor Palpatine. What are you dressed as?
My character's wearing the current Star Trek Online uniform, the Odyssey uniform.
Oh, that's a good uniform. I like the variants they've made of it too. And there's options too if you want where you can buy they're pretty cheap, the opened chest versions where they're like unbuttoned a little bit so it looks like you have like a V-neck.
I'll have to check it out because I haven't changed my uniform in a while.
Everyone's here?
Damn it! Got bad luck.
doors open. Get to the consoles down in the security hub. Deploy exocomms to the consoles. Once all three are set, they'll start cracking the security system.
This system won't even know what hit it.
Oh boy, this is gonna be great.
I'll cut through the security like a black rifle software.
All right, the exocomms have started their task. Keep them in one piece.
Attention, Terror. Efforts are doomed to failure.
Heads up! They're using site-to-site transfers to the intrusive. System hack at 25%.
Perhaps like there. Stop the terrorists now.
System hack at 50%. Keep those exocomms working.
Bring me their head. Oh, this is the final movement in that agonizer move.
Almost there. System hack at 75%. Watch your exocomms. The exocom and console outlet damaged. Needs repairs. Repair all exocoms to restart the security system. All exocoms are operational. See we can hack the system. That's it. Security system bypassed complete.
Security team, report to operation.
Oh man.
Not let anyone inside.
Really does look like Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine. A little bit from behind. It's weird. Why is there just freaking here like a fly? I need to kill it.
That door control should allow you to open the blast door now. Deploy exocom activated. Before the Terrans delete all the files.
What the heck? I'm always so resistant to fire for some reason. Always die against it real fast. Alright, this is where you gotta use the floor as lava.
I'm not done with you yet. Insert lock phaser. Bring the anti-personnel missiles online.
Keep up the pressure.
Power to weapon systems and fire at will. Lock phasers and missiles. Just fire the main phaser. Inconceivable! I have never faced defeat.
Oh, it was clear I was pulling the threat there.
Every second.
It's not what I wanted.
So long, Quinn. I'm envious. I've wanted to pop that pompous gas bag for years now. Well done. Not quite Terran standards, but a fine performance nonetheless. I'd like to
Yes.
ever have to go up against
Yes,
the real
indeed.
thing. That'd be interesting.
Hey, yo, Darth Mandalorian. Thanks for being in the stream, boy. Nice to see you, man. Did I just say boy? Sorry. My brain is like in this game story right now. But yeah, thanks for being here, man. I meant to say man. Go away, fly. Freaking. There's this annoying fly bothering me right now. So I have just a giant light right here. It's really bright. I think somebody forgot to close the screen. Go away. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna leave the map. But yeah, it's good to see you, Darth, Calamity, Robert. Nice seeing you guys. Oh, nice. New PC. What are the specs? What are the specs? See if you guys want to do a TFO or something. Ooh, a Ryzen 9 5900X, RTX 3070, 1 terabyte. Ooh, nice. Very nice. $16 GB. Oh my goodness, that is a great computer. Enjoy that, buddy. Okay, I forgot to accept. Enjoy that computer. That's a good one right there. So, I wonder when Orville Season 3 is gonna drop. So I need to see it already.
Seen a video from Egotastic Fun Time where somebody had recorded a video at a recent sci-fi convention in Texas where Penny Johnson Gerald said they're looking for a February release for season 3.
Oh, that would be nice. As long as we got a date, that would be really nice.
Yes.
So I don't want to just in the air and then probably cancel that, like season 2 is the last season, God forbid. Because Orville's a great show. If anyone hasn't seen it, go watch Orville. Seth MacFarlane gets it. He literally understands how Star Trek is supposed to be filmed. You know, added obviously his own humor into it, but the overall theme plays out like it would in a Star Trek episode. So definitely go check it out if you haven't. You're doing yourself a disservice.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Alright. I'm gonna head towards Gamma.
I'm gonna head toward Beta.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
You never got around to watching Orville? Yeah, man, it's a great show. I definitely recommend watching Orville. It has a lot of great, you know, a lot of the stories you could say have been copied from Star Trek, and yeah, they have. But he at least adopts the, you know, the Gene Roddenberry vision compared to what, you know, Kurtzman is putting out now, which is very generic and you could relate to another show. Oh, I wouldn't even want to insult it saying like it's related to The Expanse, but it has that same kind of modern feel, which it shouldn't. I mean, the Orville is just, it follows up on the theme of you know, what Star Trek was built on, right? Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, you want a hopeful, optimistic future where we're able to put aside our differences instead of being filled with angst like we are now and what you see in Discovery. And you want it to be, told in such a way where you look at that episode and it's not just an episode that is trying to tell you something. It's an episode where you think back and go, I could rewatch this episode over and over again because it's so good.
Correct. Yeah, like all their episodes are like that. I've rewatched the Orville many times. I think it's almost as many times as I've rewatched the original series. Hail Daryl. Nice to see you, man. Thanks for joining. Oh my gosh. It's good to see you. But yeah, Orville is just really great.
And I've even said this to people before, that I think what also helps it is that you have former writers and producers from Star Trek producing and writing on the Orville. I think that really does help it.
The enemy is on the move. Protect captured transports if you can.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, and they have come up with original stuff in that show. It's just that a lot of the art from it is supposed to be adopted from Star Trek because that's what he was trying to do. I think I might be wrong, but I was told that he was making that show in spite of CBS's current, lack of I can't even speak it. Familiarity with the older shows, They just completely strive off and try to make their own stamp. So he made the Orville in spite of that, so he could show. Well, that's just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. He could have a different reason for creating the show.
One of the reasons I heard was he made it in spite of CBS because he had actually pitched the Star Trek spinoff to Les Moonves, and Les Moonves turned him down and then hired Alex Kurtzman to help create Discovery with Brian Fuller. Brian Fuller, who actually wrote episodes for Next Generation and Voyager. Well, Brian Fuller ends up getting fired before Discovery actually finishes filming season 1, and we're left with Kurtzman, someone who doesn't even care for Star Trek.
No, they really don't. I mean, I watched the first episode of season 3 mistakenly of Discovery, and the first episode was just very weird. And the ship that they introduced, like the only ship that's even in that episode is like this ugly plane wing thing. It's just horrible. The design of it is just, there's no thinking to it. No art to it at all. It's just, it looks like somebody ripped it off a Boeing 747 and then there you go.
Well, some might say I made the mistake of doing it. I had already planned on doing it before season 3 began. I actually reviewed the whole season on my channel, thinking, naively, of course, that maybe season 3 would be the season where the show would get better. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, we were all let down, man. I mean, season 1 and 2 were just not great either. They were horrible. And then the ugly refit of the Constitution class, it's just, why? They just decided to change everything about it, and they hold saying it is the same timeline So they're trying to confuse us. You know, it's like, okay, I would understand if this is a separate universe like the Kelvin timeline, but no, they're saying it's the Prime timeline, which is doesn't make any sense. They're
No,
just
because
trying.
look at the nacelle pylons on the Enterprise. They don't look anything like they should. They look more like the motion picture version of the nacelle pylons.
No, yeah, the person who decides to make these things is just to put a starship in there. It doesn't matter what class. Put some aliens in there too. Make them fire at each other. There we go. Movie.
Well, even the finale of season 2 of Discovery, where they had all these shuttlecraft launching out of Discovery and the Enterprise. I'm thinking there's no way either ship would have that many shuttlecraft at their disposal.
No, there's just no way. And Darth Mandalorian says it's a dumpster fire. Daryl says they're pulling a Star Wars. Yeah, they really are. They really are. I mean, Kurtzman, you could say, and metaphorically, is the Kathleen Kennedy for the Star Trek franchise. Except this time it's a bit worse because this person has like complete creative control into everything. Right? Everything coming out is under this guy. I mean, it's sad what they're doing, and especially for the cartoon ones where they're making Lower Decks and Prodigy. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, it's just for kids," but I get that, but that's what Star Trek was to begin with. Why would people argue saying that the original Star Trek is not for kids? That was the whole point of the original Star Trek. It was to be family friendly for everybody. There was adult scenes, but that's just how Star Trek is. It's not supposed to focus towards a single demographic for kids. It's just not how it's not going to look good, and it's not going to sound good as when the story comes out, because it's going to be completely censored and holding a lot of drama and suspense back when there should be a lot of drama and tension in a Star Trek movie or show. That's just what makes it entertaining. All the possible situations the crew can get themselves into, whether it's emotional, physical, or, you know, I guess just emotional and physical.
I mean, I've heard Kurtzman say about Prodigy, you know, saying it has to be a show that kids can get into. Well, I was 7 years old back in 1985, and I got into the original series no problem. I didn't need it to be a cartoon.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
And people mentioned the animated series from the 60s. At least in that cartoon, they didn't censor anything. It was still the same cast, same story writers. So everything was still the same, except the budget was different. That's why people are saying, well, what would you consider season 4? That show or Vic's Star Trek Continues? I would say you could probably, thanks to my friend Arboreal, he's helped me consider that you could consider both of those to be, you know, in the same timeline. They're extra episodes.
You know, before Star Trek Continues began its thing on YouTube, you know, all we had was the animated series, and I always considered the animated series season 4 and season 5 of the original series. Mainly because Gene Roddenberry was involved and PC Fontana was involved. You had some other people involved from the live action series, and of course you had, you know, William Shatner and the rest of the cast minus Walter Koenig doing the voices of their characters. Now Walter Koenig did write the episode The Infinite Vulcan. And
Oh
another
man, I
thing
almost
I've
died.
noticed-
Yeah, that's true, he did.
And another thing I've noticed rewatching the animated series recently is that some of the character models that they used in Star Trek the Animated Series, well, they ended up reusing some of those character models in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. But, you know, that's how studios like Filmation did it, because they didn't have the large budget like larger studios like Warner Brothers and Disney. They had to recycle a lot of their animation models.
Lauren says, I don't get why they extended Kurtzman's contract. Yeah, I don't get why they extended Kurtzman's contract either. That just proves how much of a fixed show this is. Because ratings have just completely become unimportant anymore. The show's season finale for season 2, according to my, according to the statistics, the official ones, it barely even broke 2 million. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Gotham TV show was under Fox. I know they're completely different companies, but that show didn't last too much after season 5, after having a horrible view count at 2.5 million viewers. That's barely what Discovery is getting, and yet they're getting a season 4. People are telling me to do my research about that, saying that, oh, Discovery is a good show, do your research, that's why it's still going. And I think that should be turned the opposite way around. They have to do their research, because Discovery is actually not as good as they say it is. It is dying, and somehow it is still going on. It's dying in ratings, but still prospering on TV. Somehow.
Well, you saw the ratings that it got when they put it on CBS, didn't you? When they put season 1 of Discovery on CBS, it was fairly miserable. It was in last place in most parts. Now, some might say, yeah, but it was put on a Friday night, Mike. But still.
Thanks for popping in, Daryl.
Still
Thanks.
has the name
Thanks for
Star Trek in it,
thanks
so
for
you'd think that
popping
would
in, dude.
grab
It's good to
some
see you.
people's attention. Well, it
Hope to
probably
see you
did,
again,
but
man.
once they saw this current iteration of Star Trek, they went, nope, not for me.
No, really, you're right. You're right. I don't think they're ever gonna. Well, I wouldn't say never, but because I don't think the story of, you know, writing good Star Trek is dead. Because, you know, Orville kind of proves that. But I think for a while we're not going to be getting any good, you know, connecting stories after the ending of Voyager for a long time, until Kurtzman is not in control of it anymore. Until somebody like Rick Berman or Seth MacFarlane, or maybe miraculously Quentin Tarantino, which would probably never happen, but those would be really great creators for Star Trek. Because they understand the vision, they understand what Gene was trying to represent, they've done their research, they've watched the episodes, they remember the episodes, that's what's important. I mean, if you guys watch Family Guy, I know a lot of people aren't even fans of Family Guy. I'm not a huge fan myself, but I enjoy it. And they have, even in that show, so many Star Trek references in just the first season. It's just, he has such a passion for that sci-fi side. It's just, how can you not give him the job? He deserves it.
Not only that, there's the video of him on YouTube doing his own Star Trek fan film.
Yep, there's
And
that
he was,
too.
I think he was 14 or 15 years old at the time he did it. And I mean, I had somebody tell me on social media, oh, you just want to go back to the boring version of Star Trek. And my response was, I want to go back to the Star Trek that makes you think.
Boring. They just have horrible taste if they think it's boring. I mean, ratings speak for themselves. If it was so boring, how come it was so many reruns that brought it back to life? Obviously, they have a weird definition of what's boring.
Like more dilithium.
Not only that, the people who, once shunned DS9 are now praising it because they're seeing how good it was.
No, yeah, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have praised Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery only to really convince themselves that they have to watch the old stuff and realize how bad those new shows are. It's amazing how many people tell me, oh my gosh, Spock, you were right. Those shows are garbage compared to Deep Space Nine. I'm like, yeah, you're late on that.
All stations have dilithium haulers in proximity. Alpha and Beta stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Uh-oh, Rachel died there for a second.
Engage the cloak and begin repair.
Because, I could say something, of my own personal life, is that I was born with cerebral palsy. And not once did I think I'd like to see someone with cerebral palsy on Star Trek. No. I watched Star Trek for the storytelling. And with that storytelling, you got good characters. I mean, heck, I'll always praise Mark Alimo, who played Gold Dukat, because of how good he was as Gold Dukat.
Yeah, I agree, dude. He was a great actor.
State the nature of the emergency.
Withdraw.
Really great actor. He played a lot of different characters in the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. It was crazy. He's very talented.
Not only that, Jeffrey Combs, all the characters he played too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody were to ask me who's your favorite character played by Jeffrey Combs, I really don't have a definitive answer because he was good as all of them. Some days for me it's Strand, some days it's Brunt, some days it's Wayun.
And I am watching Gotham for the first time, and one of the main characters that was introduced is Wayun. So I was just Jeffrey Combs. I was so happy to see that. I'm like, oh my god, he is just great. He's such a great actor. I would love to have seen him play a bigger role in this game. It would have been so nice.
I would have loved to have seen Enterprise actually go into the season 5, and that rumor that I'd read years ago saying that Jeffrey Combs was going to become a part of the cast in season 5. Well, I would have loved to have seen that come to fruition.
That would have been nice. Shran being a part of, the Enterprise crew. That would have been very cool. Darth Milorian says, it's a common problem with what's coming out of Hollywood. They are checking boxes and not actually making good stories. Yeah, it's very true.
It's true. It's very true.
Yep. Alright. Let's do one more and then we're gonna call it. Let's do it. I'm gonna start tanking.
Alright. Sounds
Alright.
good.
Alright, everybody. One more and then we're gonna call the stream.
I mean, I've even said to people, that I can watch all 10 original movies, and even the bad ones. Some people have told me Insurrection's a bad movie. Well, when you compare it to the 3 J.J. Abrams movies, Insurrection looks good to me.
Yeah, Insurrection's great compared to the other movies that you see now. It's almost unfortunate how much of a masterpiece that looks now. Cause that got like I'm still not a big fan of that movie, but compared to, yeah, you're right. Compared to now, it's just blows it away by a long shot.
Not only that, you know, some people will give Star Trek V a bad rap, but the way I look at it, it's about Spock, Kirk, and McCoy's brotherhood. They even mention it in the movie. They, you know, have shore leave, and what do? They spend it together. They're not just fellow Starfleet officers. They're not just friends. They're brothers.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost, you know, crazy how they just don't want to implement characters like chemistry with each other anymore, like the relationship characters have, like Kirk and McCoy had, you know? You don't see that anymore. It's just, I saw that more with Gordon and I forgot his name from Orville, the comm pilot. John, Gordon and John, they had a great dynamic going. That was just something straight out of a Star Trek show. I loved it. Reminded me of Tom Paris and Harry Kim being friends.
Exactly. And you know, Bortus, he reminds me so much of Worf.
Yeah, Bortus is such a Worf character. It's funny thinking Worf would lay an egg though.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably die real quick. We'll see though.
And of course, Isaac's pretty much Data and Spock rolled into one.
Yeah, pretty much, except he was scary in the end, like when all of them were trying to attack Earth. Ooh, that would not be nice. And I think, what was it, the Picard, or was it oh, we have to leave depart the system. Was it in Picard or Discovery where there was like some realm being opened and a bunch of robot AIs were trying to get into the universe? That was just a weird and ugly version of what we saw in Orville.
I thought it happened in both series. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
thought it
forgot.
happened
Good thing I
in
forgot.
Discovery season 2 and then in Picard season 1. But I could be wrong. But I'm not gonna go back and watch.
Oh yeah,
shows
Mandalorian
find
says
out.
it was Picard. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was one of those two. It was just a very weird subplot.
Well, you know, also in Picard, to have the Federation become isolationist. The Federation wouldn't do that.
Only fools can know victory.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Dang, they blew up my tank. That's crazy. Yep, I had all their fire on me.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Oh my gosh, well, that was crazy. They literally wrecked me. I had all the cubes firing on me. They're like, you're not gonna live today, sir.
Some server issues, so my ship kept jumping around from one place to the other.
Yeah, same here. I've noticed that, like, this rubber banding. It's weird.
State the nature of the emergency. Please state the nature of the emergency.
I admire your skill, your will. With us, you could do so much more. Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Yeah, Picard was about AI. Puke card. Ruined the character. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how else they could have ruined the character. Captain Robert says, need to log off due to an electrical storm. I'll see you all. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. Be safe, man. Hope that storm passes.
Please state the nature of the emergency.
Yeah, be safe, because I live on the East Coast, and I know when those thunderstorms come through, there are times you just want to shut down everything. Because of how the lightning is and everything. In fact, last year, we had lightning strike pretty close to our house. I was getting ready to
Yeah,
go live,
dude.
and then all of a sudden, boom! It's like, yeah, I ain't going live.
I know. I hate lightning. I had to go drive through a lightning storm once. One of the scariest things ever.
Yep.
Cause like you don't know if it'll hit your car or not. I have to turn off the radio, everything, my phone.
Not only that, we've had some bad thunderstorms here in the past where you can't see a darn thing in front of you, and if you can see in front of you, it's only because there's another car's headlights coming, toward you, or their taillights right in front of you.
Yeah, honestly, it's like you can't really see. And that's the scary part. It's like you don't know where it's gonna hit.
It's like last year, I was coming home from an area that was 2 hours away from where I live, and at first I was thinking I'm gonna pull off the road because it was so bad, but then I noticed how quickly the road was flooding. I'm thinking, nope, I'm staying on the road because I might get stuck if I pull off the road.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's scary. I'm not a big fan of driving in the rain too much.
Mm-mm. It's not fun. Especially when you have people just speeding on by you like it's a clear, sunny day.
Alright, everybody. Well, I think I'm gonna call this stream a night. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. We got a lot of viewers today. Thanks for the support, everybody. Thanks for chatting. Love to have everybody chatting and talking about Trek. It's always good to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. And again, thank you for joining this stream, Pacific. You're always welcome here. Love to do more podcasts and talk about Star Trek with you, and even more Star Trek Online, man. Just whatever you want to do. It doesn't even have to be Star Trek, Marvel, DC. It'd be fun to just talk. So you're always welcome on this channel. And if there's before we end this, if there's anything you want to say, please go ahead.
Well, first I want to thank you for letting me come on in your stream. I really enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed the times that we've actually got to talk to each other. It's been nice.
Indeed, I agree. It's been nice. We have some very good opinions on what Star Trek should be. PBS is listening. But thanks to everybody tuning in. Later, Darth Mandalorian. Thanks for joining the stream, buddy. I'll see you around soon on EBN. But we will catch you all later. Live long and prosper.